This is the Stock Day Podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. Here's your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, I am bringing you a great company that we discovered probably about 2.5 to 2 months ago. We were talking about James E. Wagner Cultivation. You can find them on the OTCQX under the ticker symbol JWCAF. You can find them on the TSX Venture up there under the ticker symbol JWCA. To me, one of the most undiscovered marijuana companies, cannabis companies, if you will, in Canada, trading around 33 cents American money. With us today, we're very fortunate and lucky to have him, is the Corporate Communications Manager, Mr. Benjamin A. Smith. Benjamin, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Give my listeners just a little bit about statement of what you guys do up there, and then I want to get into the Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely. We are a aeroponics cultivator, licensed producer in Canada, one of the very few aeroponics growers in this nation. And we are building out a facility in Kitchener, Ontario. We have 2 facilities. We have a pilot facility, which was the genesis of our company, about 12,500 square feet of cultivation space. And our main facility, JWC2, located about 5 minutes away in Kitchener, Ontario. It has about 360,000 square feet potential cultivation space. Right now we're licensed, we just got licensed for 44,000 square feet of grow. So we're advancing operations, and we have the differentiators, I think, to really make a difference in this market.
Congratulations. Yeah, I saw that. You guys went from 22,000 to 44,000. On August 26th, you guys gave guidance following your fiscal quarter of 2019 earnings report for the first time. I think this included a projection for positive operating cash flow by the end of the company's fiscal second quarter of 2020. What is the importance milestone for this, and why did you guys do it?
Well, this was our very first guidance we put out, so it was a milestone for JWC for doing this. We wanted to get out our guidance to investors, to analysts out there, to really have that visibility for the analysts and investors to look forward to. So it was really an important event also because it gets JWC to a place where more money will be coming in than flowing out in operational expenses, thus allowing us to fulfill our payment obligations and keep growing. So if we hit our projections by our fiscal year Q2 2020, which is at the end of the first calendar year of next year, 2020, in March, then we're going to get to a place where more money is basically coming in than going out. So with that, gives us options in terms of the pace of expansion. It gets us different optionality basically to control our pace of growth. Do we want to make it more measured? How is the market looking at that time? So we don't run into any overcapacity issues. Of course, other licensed producers are still far away from this threshold, and we think that that's a disadvantage for those that are not at least at that level. Because of course, the cost of capital and capital procurement in the market right now is a little bit challenging for everybody.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing. It's always a good thing to have more money coming in and then going out. That being said, like you said, cannabis industry itself is currently experiencing a so-called capital crunch, while licensed producers, particularly small cultivators, are having a tough time procuring capital. Is capital procurement a concern for JWC, and how do you plan on navigating through the rough waters maybe over the next 2 or 3 quarters?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's very in focus in the market right now. And I would say that while no licensed producers are immune from such pressures, JWC has a trusted partner to help navigate through these murky waters. On October 4th, I don't know if you saw the press release, but JWC announced a term sheet with Trichome Financial Corp for an additional $4 million of financing. And this financing comes at reasonable terms, reasonable loan conditions for the company. So some of this money will be earmarked towards working capital, and some will, the majority of it should flow into the expansion of JWC2 and paying for the existing expansion, which has gotten us up to 44,000 square feet of cultivation. So yeah, it was, this is the second such financing by Trichome Financial as well. So they announced, they originally forwarded us $3.5 million in February of 2019. So some investors might interpret this as a tacit acceptance of our business model and the operational maturity within the marketplace. So, the fact that Trichome Financial is, takes a look under the hood, and there's a lot that goes into it. It looks at, and if they see the things that they like, and the fact that they're loaning us more money on top of that at reasonable term, I think, investors might interpret that as being the fact that we're getting to a good place, and it goes back to the operational cash flow position, which we expect will be achieved. It goes to the comfortability for financiers to lend us, additional capital. So, it's going to help with the pace of growth, and it's going to help us, keep growing, and hopefully, the recreational market unlocks, and that's where we end up next, and everything is works out on that end.
Recently I saw that you guys had revenues producing for the last 2 quarters, and I'm trying to understand your model up there. Understanding that you guys are right now just selling to medical channels currently. Any plans on entering maybe the recreational market up there in Canada? And if so, can you give us our views on a rough estimate of maybe a timeline?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, while no assurances can be made that we will enter the recreational market, we believe we are on track to achieve recreational distribution in Canada sometime in this calendar fourth quarter of 2019. So this is something we've been signaling for a while, and it's something that we've anticipated, and it's something that we're sticking to. Now, this is very important too, because once we achieve this level of distribution, the recreational market is approximately 3 times the size of the medical market. This will unlock various customers that are currently not experiencing our product, who don't have medical conditions or don't want to visit a physician to obtain a prescription. People will just be able to buy it right on the marketplace, on the OCS, if that's where the venue is, or other provinces. So yeah, it's definitely going to unlock a consumer market to us that isn't currently available. So it is a very important watershed moment for the company.
My guest today has been Benjamin A. Smith. He's the corporate communications manager. We're talking about WJC, James E. Wagner Cultivation Corp. Company. You can find them on the OTCQX under the ticker symbol JWCAF. You can find them on the TSX under the ticker symbol JWCA. Benjamin, before I let you go, what is it that you want my listeners and your stockholders to take away from this interview today?
Well, the biggest takeaway, I believe, is the fact that JWC is moving in the right direction. We have just received that loan from Trichome Financial, or we're just putting finishing touches on it, more accurately. And I think that is a tacit vote of confidence for the company, that despite challenging market conditions, we are growing, our operations are maturing, and we're getting ready for a recreational launch, which we expect will happen in this calendar quarter. So challenging conditions are on the marketplace, but I think we are achieving our goals, and things are looking very positive for the company on a number of fronts. And we hope that Growth Storm and some of the initiatives that we're bringing forth really yield some good results in 2020.
I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I wish you guys nothing but great success out there. I personally think you guys are undervalued here, and I really believe in the next 2 or 3 quarters, you guys are going to hit some serious revenue growth on that side of the equation, moving up from 22,000 square feet to 44,000 square feet. And Benjamin, hopefully you'll come back on the show, become a regular, come back 40 or 50 days, and give myself and my listeners an update on your company.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by La Jolla Media LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are for educational and research purposes. Stock Day encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional.